Welcome to the Local BS, where we want to hear your business stories. Our goal is to spotlight local businesses in the Harrisburg area, but today we have a special guest, Mayor Teague, the mayor of Harrisburg. Well, welcome today. Our guest today is Miss Mayor Jennifer Teague, Harrisburg, and thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me. Excited.
Thank you for coming.
What a fun venture.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting. We have a lot of good questions for you.
Excellent.
I think Harrisburg's growing dramatically.
So much.
And before we get started on that, can you tell us a little bit about your family?
Sure. So I'm married to Luke. We're actually coming up on our 30-year anniversary in
Congrats.
May. Yes. We've got 3 kids. My oldest, Cameron, is 20. He'll be 21, and he's getting married June 5th, which is just wild because I do not feel old enough to have a kid getting married. My middle is a daughter, Finley. She's away at college, coming home soon. It's been a big transition year for us with one moving out and one going to school away. And then there's Carter, and everyone knows
Sweet,
Carter.
Amazing.
Our youngest.
Carter.
Yes, he's a junior in high school.
I want to say he's my favorite, but I like all your kids.
Yeah,
so.
he's a pretty cool kid. He's a pretty cool kid. He disowns us most of the time. I think you guys spend more time with him than I do.
Nobody knows this, but our son is Carter's age, and they are thick as thieves.
They are thick as thieves, indeed.
Yes.
They are BFFs.
They are. So, yeah, I grew up in Charlotte, actually 5 generations, which
How
you don't
long
find.
have you been in Harrisburg?
So 27 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we just had 27 years.
Golly.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
The amount of growth.
The amount of growth. Like literally there were cows in our backyard that would get out of the fence and eat our monkey grass.
Are you still in the same house?
We are.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, we are still in the same house. Yeah.
I love that.
We loved it so much. It was half an acre. We weren't right on top of each other. We loved our neighbors. They were great. And when we were starting a family, we looked to move. We looked at several different areas within Harrisburg, but just decided we loved our location so much, so we added on to the house. So we've been there forever and ever.
Your kids are born and raised here.
They are. They don't really know any different.
No.
Yeah. So it's been odd having Cameron move out into his own home. He's luckily 12 minutes away.
Right.
So he's not too far, but
Adding a wife.
yeah.
You have a beautiful family.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
And there's a
sweet.
little light at the end of the tunnel. You got, before empty nesters, you got one kind of left in the house.
One kind of left who's like, I think, ready
1
to
foot
be
out.
out and
Yeah.
has been ready to get out. So he should finish up. He only has 3 more classes he has to take. So he should graduate in
for
December. He's excited to get into the workforce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It is. Very, very.
So this podcast is really focused on local businesses in Harrisburg and how we can highlight them and spotlight them. And we always have a lot of good questions when it comes to what does the government of Harrisburg, how are they highlighting or spotlighting the local businesses in Harrisburg
Yeah, as
area?
a mayor, how do you support
Right.
local businesses?
So a couple things. When I first took office, we were kind of data driven, kind of looking to see what we were at, where we had been, and where we wanted to go. And one of the big focuses was economic development because we had the rooftops. In fact, it's an 80-20 split, which is not really sustainable, I don't think,
Which
for the
means
future.
what?
That
Tells us-
means
yeah.
80% of our tax revenue comes from residents
Oh.
and 20% comes from business.
Okay.
And for the longest time, we were kind of told, if you have the rooftops, the businesses will come. Well, the rooftops kept coming and coming and coming, and we really were not seeing that needle move on the business side of things. So we had to get house in order, get a couple things kind of lined up, but our big focus was to hire an economic development director that specialized in that. We are really good at town staff operating at a high functional level. In fact, lowest per capita for residents, the amount of employees, they are killing it. I mean, they are just doing a lot of work. But economic development is very specialized.
Yeah.
And if that's going to be the focus, we want to make sure we have the best of the best in that position. So
What's the goal percentage if you're saying 80-20 or
you'll hear a lot of numbers tossed around there. I think over the next 5 years, we'll be able to move that needle to like a 70-30 split. And then I think we'll see that continue to go down. Ideally, I would like to see 60-40. we're kind of landlocked.
Right.
And so there's only so much space that you can do that. But we've got a couple key areas identified. Our Moorhead West, which is probably one of our biggest near Speedway. A lot of folks don't know that Harrisburg has part of that property as well.
Okay.
But that's really, there's not residential out that way.
Right.
So it's good to have that. We've got Farmington Ridge.
Which is beautiful.
It is. It is.
Beautiful.
It's coming along nicely. And that's an interesting project because half of it's in Mecklenburg County, half of it's in Cabarrus County. So just kind of navigating that a little bit. But that's really what our economic development department is doing right now. So once we got house in order, we were able to hire somebody to come in. That has really been their focus. We've probably got 80 projects on the books right now, and that's within 8 months of us hiring our director. So he has hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Are you seeing a lot of local? Or are they more big box?
Both, actually, both. You'll see the big box at like the Farmington Ridge. So there's a Target that will be coming out that.
Oh, wow.
That's actually on the it's kind of
side.
split a little bit. So we're working with them on project design, but they needed a good anchor store, and I think once you have that anchor store, you'll start to see more come in. I think that's probably been one of the frustrations for our residents is, oh my goodness, we have tire part stores and nail salons and lots of fast food.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
where's everything else? But I think very much so. And what you want to see is that fast food, because fast food is usually the first indicator that you'll have other things coming. It's just a process. And that's something I had to learn, because I'm like, listen, we just want good food to eat. If there's one thing I have learned about Harrisburg, they like to eat and they like to eat good food.
Well, and
that's
funny,
what they
some
want.
of the big box fast food places are locally owned by residents.
Correct.
You don't know that.
You don't know that.
Yes. Like I know Jersey Mike's is. I
Yes.
know there are some that we are supporting small local, even though you think it's a big name.
Well, both of the Chick-fil-A's are locally franchised.
Huge.
So
you are
it's
supporting small business, even though it is
you really are.
Yes.
And so in addition to that, we have got a great communications team, and they have actually gone out and started spotlighting some of the businesses and meeting with them and highlighting them on our social media. And since then, we have seen our social media uptick. Tenfold from what it was even 2 years ago. And I think that's important. It says it takes 7 touches to reach someone.
Right.
We are trying anything and everything. So the information's there. It's just finding those points where we can drive all of our residents to get that. I mean, it's crazy to me sometimes when I'll hear folks say, hey, I didn't even know Vortex was in Harrisburg. And I'm like, where have you been?
Yes.
It's been here forever. But, if you don't get out, or you're used to going to Concord or Charlotte, sometimes you can miss those things. So I think it's important for us to highlight what we have here, because if they are thriving, that just attracts other businesses to come in.
Well, and I think you, as our mayor, your family has a small business. You know what it takes for small businesses to make it.
It's a lot.
So it is probably important on your list as being our mayor.
Very much so. Very much so. And those mom and pops are really kind of the bread and butter of Harrisburg.
Right.
When you think of kind of charm and community, those are the things that you look for. I think I came on kind of right at the whole COVID situation.
This is your second term.
I'm just starting my second term.
Okay.
So I'm in year 5, I guess. 5. Some days it
congratulations.
feels like 1. Some days it feels like 50. Just depends on the day. But no, it's been a great run so far. Yeah.
So what's for this second term? What is something, I'll use small businesses with the community development, with that coming in. What do Harrisburg residents need to know?
I think they need to know that our initiatives of really getting resident feedback is super, super important to us.
You do want to hear from them.
Oh, we do, and we have, which is fantastic. So we kicked off One Harrisburg, and it's truly intended to be One Harrisburg. Anybody that comes through here, lives here, works here, plays here, whatever the case may be, we wanted to hear from them, because we're a bedroom community, if you want to just be honest with it. I mean, we've got folks coming through Harrisburg all the time on 49. I mean, we're in a spot for that. We're right in between Concord and Charlotte and University. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on. So it was important for us to hear from that. Obviously, from my seat, it's super important what our residents and business owners think. That's our top priority. So the one Harrisburg, we decided to really meet our community where they were at.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of expectation in government that, well, if you want to know what's going on, you need to come to us and hear about it. And that only gets you so far.
Right.
I mean, trying to accommodate everyone's schedule to meet with us on a Monday night at our monthly council meeting just isn't
and to get
realistic.
everyone heard.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So we actually went out. We had 12 meetings in the community. We went to the YMCA, we went to Stallings Park, we went to a firehouse, did it by zones. Anyone from the area was welcome to come, just depending on schedule. But we wanted to hear from them what was important, what they wanted to see. Retail, businesses,
is that where you're
transportation, all those things. And then we actually did a survey, which statistically speaking, I don't think we've ever had a more successful survey. We had 1,000 folks fill that out, which, we're almost 25,000 people. So it sounds really small, but I just sat through a meeting today where a college statewide got 1,000 people.
Yeah,
we got
It
1,000 people in our
people
area.
are involved. That's what makes
Very
Harrisburg
much
great,
so.
though. People
Yes.
are involved. They do want to be a part of it.
And that's our guiding principle. Like we have it in black and white, and it's statistically checked. This is what our residents want. And a lot of that focus has been on retail and restaurants. They want to be able to come home from work, wherever that is. They want to spend time with their families at our parks. They want to grab a bite to eat. And I keep hearing people want to buy a pair of pants in Harrisburg.
Yeah,
Right.
They don't want to have to go to Concord Mills.
I would be one of those.
Yeah,
I would be one of those.
They would like to have something a little bit closer to. And I think, we have the income level within our area to support a lot of that. So I think we're going to see some pretty cool things.
I love it.
Headed our way. There's a lot of interest, and that's great. That means we're doing our job. And then now we've got folks in place to help guide them from start to finish to make sure those things happen.
I love it.
Any other big box stores coming into town?
Haven't heard of anything specific. I mean, they're all looking. And
There's so much land down 49.
There is and there isn't.
Yeah.
That's a big corridor for us. What's there is a little difficult to go in and change. We've tried with facade changing to make things look a little nicer, but hindsight, I wish the four corners could have looked a little bit different than what they do, but I think we're going to be able to make some stark improvements that the residents are going to enjoy, that will attract more businesses, mom and pop and chain.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. I think when you talk about big box, we've got a population that's like, whoa, hold on. Like, don't lose the small town charm.
It's true.
And that's not something that you would want to put right in the center of your residential. But I think we do have some outlying areas, being that Rocky River Road at 485, which is still Harrisburg. And then you've got that Moorhead, which is 29 and Speedway. You've got some areas that you could work around a few things there. But that's what our economic development department is working on.
I love it.
They're going after some of that.
Population-wise, what are you seeing the increase in Harrisburg every year?
Right. So we add about 1,200 residents a year on average. You'll see the numbers are a little skewed only because what was approved prior to when I came on board and then COVID hit, that stalled a lot of those projects.
Yeah.
So interesting for me, when I started, that's when the development kicked back in, and you saw folks, why are they approving all these developments? We're like, guys, that was like 4 years ago that it got approved. They're just now able to start the project. So both of the projects that were on Stallings, that's actually why I ran for office, because of how that was handled. But those were approved probably 3 years before I ran for office the first time. So, government works at government pace. And a lot of folks don't realize that when you see all of this construction happening, this has been years and years in the making.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So that's why you ran. Tell us why you ran for mayor.
It is. So
or one of the probably many reasons you did.
There were a couple reasons, but the one was I truly felt like the residents were being railroaded and
by small government.
By small government, and not for a lack of trying to find solutions and showing up and being part of the process.
Yeah.
Like, we would go to all the meetings. If they asked for input, we would send input. I think at one point I was told to research this on my own. We were able to get a couple of the public meetings. They had to be moved from town hall to the theater at Hickory Ridge High School because they needed more space. We had news folks involved. We literally packed an entire auditorium of residents, and not one person spoke up in favor of what the project.
Doing. Yeah,
and they sat right there and approved it like that same night. And for me, it was disheartening just to see that process. Yeah. But I felt that entire room disengage from that point. Like, what's the point in showing up and trying to be active, like offering solutions? No one was saying don't build. It's just what you were allowing to be built there that did not match surrounding communities. Right. That was tough for me. That was tough to watch our neighbors think, oh my gosh, we all just came up in droves, like 1,000 people, and
nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do. And, I'm one of those, okay, well, we tried it that way. Yeah. So I just...
What is different now? Now you win something. Second term. You start going, okay, I want to change some things. What is one of the biggest things that you've seen change in a positive?
Yeah, it's really the community engagement.
Yeah.
We did not have that before at all. And I laugh because our meetings are generally fairly boring, but I get excited when I see people come, even though I don't know what they're there for, if they're there to just listen, observe, if they want to speak, they want to yell, whatever the case may be. But I get excited when I see people there because that's the
you
first...
want them there. That's why you ran.
You do. It's the first level of engagement. That piece is a little bit of a double-edged sword because I try to stay off social media as much as I can because I have kind of found that the misery loves company, and most of what you will see complaint-wise on social media never comes to us.
Yeah.
We don't ever get an email. They don't ever show up to a meeting. Yeah. We don't ever get a phone call. And we're probably one of the most accessible governments around. We are all accessible. You can reach us. It's my personal cell number on all the things. I actually don't even have an office at Town Hall because we're out of space. So I usually meet folks in the coffee shop or a church or wherever they're available, and anybody can call my cell phone all day long. And I think that's the difference.
It is a difference. It is. I would say we notice that being fairly newer residents, we notice how involved you are. You're everywhere.
It's being at all the things.
You are.
I mean,
not just because your family's there, not just because your kids are there, you are involved in
the company's here.
Yeah. And our small businesses, you come to those meetings. Right. You are at your kids' events at school.
And that felt very natural to me because just with kids being involved and I was involved with the schools, we were at a lot of things anyway. So that was not really outside of my comfort zone. Yes. The role, however, is quite different.
But you're yourself in the role. That's what's funny is the role might be different, but you're still.
I don't think I think I'm the same person that I was. And that's when we talked about, how long does somebody stay in a role like this? And for me, I think it should be somewhat of a revolving door because I think you need to have new blood come in. You should leave it better than you found it and make sure it's ready for somebody else to come in and take over and run it too.
I agree. Yeah. But you're right, though. It does make a sense like that. It probably took you a little bit of time to understand everything, the ebbs and flows of the political or the seat that you've taken.
Well, and it was a nasty campaign to begin with. The first time. The second time wasn't much better, but I was more prepared the second time. Yeah. The first time, it's a leap of faith. I mean, I was literally, I think my tagline was believe in Teague. I mean, there was a trust. Like a lot of people knew me, a lot didn't. And so I'm asking them, I don't have a government track record to show you, but here's what I do know. I know the people in this community. I know when they rally together and stick together and want to see something happen, that's a force to be reckoned with. And I want to be able to represent that. So I think that was kind of an easy sell. It was hard going up against somebody that was in that office for, 8 years? So that was tough, but just kind of standing on the ground that I've been active in the community. This isn't something that I just woke up one day and said, ooh, let's just do this for fun. Right. It was a genuine concern of what was going on in the community. And just having that support of those around me, I think really kind of helped propel that decision a little bit faster than I would have thought.
Well, we appreciate that you're in the role that you're in.
Not only as residents, but as small business owners in Harrisburg.
Right. And the support that you provide to us is great. One last question. Somebody moving into Harrisburg, what would you tell them? How would you get them into moving to Harrisburg?
You made a great choice. A great choice. We have, I think, probably the best community around.
Yeah,
I will put our community, our staff, our businesses up against anybody in the state. And we actually hear that quite a bit outside of Cabarrus County. They're looking at Harrisburg. We've really kind of put ourselves on the map. Part of that is being involved. We are at all the things we can possibly be at, but going after grants. We've received historical grant money that kind of woke a couple other municipalities up like, hey, what are you guys doing? So to know that people had choices and this is where they picked to set their roots and raise their family, a little biased, but you made a great decision because it's a good place to be. And I think you'll continue to see that same family-oriented, community-based approach, whether it's me in office or someone else, because this is something that it's legacy. Right. I think this is something that continues no matter who's sitting in this seat because of the people that are here.
Right.
Can I ask one more thing? I'm glad you said legacy. What do you want to leave to the next mayor and to the residents that will come under someone else? What is your legacy that you want to leave?
I want to leave my predecessor a well-oiled machine with something solid to work from and build on.
Yeah. Hit the grass running.
Yeah, because I think if you have to go in and restructure or clean up or anything of that sort, it really detracts from what
you can do.
What you can do. Yeah. And it takes a lot of time to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, building trust doesn't happen overnight at all.
Yeah, and if you're cleaning up, you're not building trust, you're cleaning up.
That's right. And it's easy to shift blame on where something was, where it should be, why isn't it there?
Right.
And I think kind of educating the public on that process is key to get them involved. And so that's, for me, that legacy is I left it better than I found it. Yeah. And I want my kids and their families to grow up here and say, hey, my mom did some really cool things while she was in office. I joke with Finley, I got one of her sorority headshots in, and you can change the background. And I changed the background to the American flag. And I said, ooh, looks like maybe a future mayor of Harrisburg.
I love it.
Maybe.
That can be the legacy.
Maybe.
Right,
They're definitely more interested in politics now than they ever were.
Yes.
So
that might
be good
enough.
A little better.
They do. It was a good time for me. The ages that they were when I ran, they were old enough that we could sit down and have conversations and just say, hey, this could get nasty. You're going to hear things,
it's
see
not
things.
For the faint of heart what you guys have done.
Come talk to us. We'll get through it. And then when it came time to should I run again, they're like, heck yeah, absolutely do it. So it's been a good experience, I think, for them. They're in the limelight a little bit more than they probably wish they were. I mean, everyone's always looking. We're always set your example, do those kinds of things. But I'm like, these are the people that you grow up with. This is your community. And so everything you do matters, whether you're the mayor's kids or not. You're leaving an impact here. So that's important. Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, we appreciate you being on. Thank you for supporting local businesses in Harrisburg. And thank you for fighting for us. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, you and your team. Thank you. Absolutely. And thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Hey guys, if you liked what you heard today, please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel grow.